I brainwashed myself into being confident by Dan Coe. And I have never been in a place in my life where I feel like I have to work on my confidence. But here I am, 2023, January. And I have to work on it. I need to work on it. And there are so many people, especially people who do not know me, and people who just think there's no way somebody that puts themselves on a camera, or somebody who's not necessarily, scared to talk in front of a crowd of people or whatever, could have issues with confidence. But it's becoming a big issue, because I know that when I'm not confident, I can't create. When I'm not confident, I don't want to talk to people. When I'm not confident in who I am, I would rather not even speak to that person. I'd rather just not even be anywhere in the vicinity of whatever confidence I thought I had in the beginning. You know what I mean? And I have to work on that. Anyways, the reason I am making this video is because I am not confident enough to create content right now. And I saw a comment that I actually kind of hate that I haven't responded back to. If anything, I read it and I really needed to marinate on it. And I think it's been like 2 or 3 days since I've read it. But whoever wrote it, obviously I'm in the car, so I can't look at who it is. But whoever wrote it, shout out to you, okay? Because you're absolutely correct. Yes, there did come a time where I felt I was getting a lot of attention and views, and I just felt like I couldn't really be myself. Like I felt like I had to be, dang, another 333. That's crazy. I felt like I had to really censor myself, and I hate that. But there was just so many things that I just felt like, at the end of the day, a lot of the opinions I have and a lot of the things I think are things that could easily catapult a hate army to do whatever they want to do, to end whatever they think I have. And I hate that. I hate that I've allowed my channel to kind of censor me. I really don't like that. And I think it's something that I have to work on within myself, because at the end of the day, I'm not an idiot. I'm fully aware that this is a platform that you have to have thick skin for, point blank period. If you ain't got thick skin, you really shouldn't be on it. So when I am in the times of having thin skin and I don't want to post content, and I'm very much like, you know what, I'm good, I marinate on those thoughts and I marinate on those feelings. And I have been marinating for quite some time now, and I've come to realize that if I'm not stable in all shapes, forms, whatever, financially, physically, spiritually, mentally, like if it's not stable, I am not at my best. And when I am not at my best, I don't see the point of delivering that best to the world. I don't see why I should be flaunting or sharing or showing or speaking when you really should be focused on your own stuff. Like, that's really the core of why I will find myself just being like, you know what, I can't create content right now, or I'm going to be creating on my second channel, or whatever it is that's happening that's preventing me from creating content in the way I want to create content, meaning like with no restrictions, post when I want to, don't give a damn. I can't do that when my confidence is shot. And that is one thing I'm really working on, is my own insecurities and my own level of confidence. Because I think people assume that if you're an extrovert, you're just gonna be confident. There's just no way you're not gonna be confident, but that's just not the case. If anything, it's fabricated confidence. If anything, it's a masked confidence. It's not real. And I know this because I come across people like this a lot. And I'm sure I attract them due to my own level of confidence that I feel that I have when I'm in a good, frame of mind. But when I come across these people, most of these people cannot keep it up for that much longer than what I'm assuming. Meaning, I'm thinking this is who they really are, when in reality, they're just painting whatever picture they want me to see or feel within that moment. And then at some point, that confidence is either shot, diminished, gone, fabricated, or completely manipulated. And then I realize, oh, this person was just acting like that. Like they're not actually a real leader. They're not an actual free thinking mind. They just know that they can act that way and catapult that energy. But once it's in the frame of them having that, maintain that energy for a long period of time, it's very hard for those people to do that. And if it's something that I've noticed within other people myself, it's obviously something that I can't ignore within my own experience. So I say this to say, I really don't see how we live in a world that really, I don't want to say thrives off being confident, but we live, or I should say this country, let's just only focus on America, thrives on the materialism and the status symbol of their lives, whether that's cars, money, job title, fame, like whatever it may be. But I've realized that it's not as authentic as so many think it is. And that's one thing that I've always really been transparent about. So I kind of hate that now that I'm kind of in a place where I'm having my boat kind of rocked. It's like, I would rather have a content creator that's open about that, not hiding it, not necessarily like scared to get on camera and talk about it. I had to come into terms with myself, like, girl, first of all, it's like a constant fight of wanting to do and be better. And it's like, even when I'm at that better, it's still not enough. So girl, what are you chasing? And so as much as people want me to create content, as much as I know that I can create content, I mean, there's a ton of things to talk about right now. I just feel like it's just not the time. I feel like I would be doing a disservice by creating content right now when I know I really should be focusing on other things. I don't even want to say the word stability, because I think I'm in a very stable place right now, way more stable than I've been in the past. But I still think it's very important to focus on things that are just really has nothing to do with the rest of the world. I don't think it makes sense to try to be better or change the world or be an inspiration or any of those things if you're not doing it for yourself, So that's where I am right now. That's what I'm doing. But we're still gonna do our live stream where I say goodbye on January 22nd. I really don't think I'm gonna be off of this platform that long. I just think that it's better to kind of have a moment of like, all right, I need to make a cold break than just disappear and say nothing. You know what I mean? So as of right now, we'll see what happens. I'm kind of excited for the change. I have no idea where I'm gonna live in 2 months. It's kind of crazy, but I don't know. I'm kind of excited for this adventure. This journey is going to be very interesting this year. I'm going to be in a lot of different places. So I'm excited for the growth, but I'm also terrified for the unknown. So I'm just in a place where I feel like it makes way more sense to focus on yourself and focus on everything else to make it seem as if you're focusing on yourself. Whew! There we go. Someone write that in the Bible. I can't. But you know what I mean? Because that's what everyone's doing. Focusing on everything else but themselves so that other people think that they're good and focused on themselves. So that would be the posting on the story, like, oh my God, happy birthday to this person, or oh my gosh, did y'all see Lori Harvey? Like, oh, y'all, did you hear that they're gonna, just keeping up with what's meant to be kept up in the social media world, when in reality it's like no one's checking if you're okay mentally. But yeah, we definitely need to make it very known that we know about what's going on with Lori Harvey's relationship status, because then it shows like, oh well, you must be good over there because you're talking about what's going on in the world. So it's just a really interesting concept. The real reason that I even thought about this video is because I'm listening to I Brainwashed Myself into Being Confident by Dan Coe. And I love this man's channel because his channel is literally what I kind of wanted to do with my second channel, was really just have more like sit down talk videos, not this like so many distractions and making you laugh. And like I really wanted to do something more serious, but I just haven't really like put the brain work into doing it. But besides the point, so I'm listening to his video talking about confidence, and I'm just like, man, what's interesting is even when I have gone into the rabbit holes of like how to be more confident, or how to be more of a leader in a room, or how to stand out in a crowd, whatever the damn video or book is, I've read multiple. I've definitely dabbled in a lot of that kind of content, and a part of me always finds myself wanting to make sure that I'm not getting into the realms of being extremely narcissistic, because being narcissistic is a needed feature and expression for the human experience. I think those that think that it's not are very, very naive. So for me, I'm always kind of checking that level, because in America, it's not checked until something goes wrong, right? Most of the time, these people are praised until the end of days, really. I mean, let's be honest. But until something goes wrong, that's when it's like, oh my gosh, that person is this, that person is that, and da 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 da. And so, as I'm listening to him talk about him brainwashing himself into being confident, I was just thinking, that's literally what I've been doing, and I didn't realize that I've been doing it for the past like week or so. I've just been kind of pushing myself to do things that I normally wouldn't do. So, for example, I've been looking at a lot of different places. Like, I've been just trying to decide, like, do I want to stay here? Do I want to move? Do I want to leave? What do I want to do? And I came across this apartment, and it was so close to my ex's old apartment that it kind of made me not want to move. And then I started thinking, wait, why is that? Just like he said in the video, be objective about your thoughts. Really break it apart. Like, why am I thinking this right now? Because this isn't me. This is just a thought, right? So I don't have to actually go with this thought. It's just something coming into my mind. And I started to objectify, like he says to do in the video. Again, I'm just doing this like in my own like thoughts. I'm not really assuming that this is what I should be doing. And I started thinking about the reasoning behind it. And the reasoning that came to mind is that I don't like the insecurity and the smallness of who I was at that time. Because who I am now would have never allowed the way that relationship ended to happen. Like who I am now, I would have been like, girl, are you okay? Like, get up. Like, stand up. What do they say? Stand up. On TikTok, stand up, girl. That is not the only man you're gonna have in your life. What's wrong with you? But at that time, right, I just was like, you're the only person I want to be with. Like, what? Like, I don't understand. I don't want to be with anybody else. And when I think about that memory, that's what I don't like. It's not that he lived so, like, he's right there and I'm gonna have the memory of thinking about him and I secretly still love him. It's nothing like that. It's the insecurity. It's the smallness of who I was when I met him. Not only that, but also the potential that I think so many men see in me when they're interested in me. It happens all the time. So when I'm in those kind of like circles and conversations, I look back at it, I look back at what they actually really liked and showed me that they liked, and a lot of it is potential. They have this like sense of like, oh my gosh, like, you're this, you're that, you're that, you're this, and every time they're painting who I am, I really just observe it, because I don't meet anybody and assume that they're ever gonna know or figure out who I am, period. It doesn't even matter if they're close. I still just think in my head like, you're never gonna know who I fully am. And dang, 222666 and another 22, yikes. Angel numbers are crazy right now. But anyways, so they fall in love with this potential of who I am, and the potential of who I am is I'm not there yet. So they're seeing someone so much like bigger and better and brighter that I'm not there yet. I haven't gone through the trials and tribulations to be on that level yet. And what happens is the potential that they see is potential that I don't know until after I've left their lives. And then I'll go back to that memory and I'll go back to that moment and I'll think like, dang, that person really thought I was like this, that, and the third, when in reality I was nowhere close to it yet. And then normally what tends to happen is I become that, or I level up at some point or something happens, and then they come back and they're like, I'm so proud of who you've become, like I knew you could do it, or whatever it is. And I just think in my head like, That's crazy, because I would have killed to have this kind of response back then. But now that I'm in this like other place, it's just like, oh, thanks, and it's over. But who I was at that moment, oh my God, I would cry. I would literally, he loves me again. You know what I mean? But I think most of the time I'm pretty clear that I do not like being in any kind of conversation with any of my exes. And I think that's probably one of the worst things about being in a relationship with me or loving me at any point in life, is that I will most likely never see or speak to you again. And I want to say it's something I need to work on, but honestly, I just think I'm built that way. I love way too fucking hard, man. And the idea of going back and let's be friends, I'm just like, The second that thing has been in my mouth, baby, we never gonna be friends again. I can't. The possessiveness is ridiculous. That's another thing about being like a Taurus Venus. Oh my God. I need to do a video on Taurus Venus. Actually, we might just do that right now for funsies. Anyways, I will see y'all in the next one, because I will be confident enough to film another one, because that is what I'm trying to do here. We have to remain confident. Okay, and we're almost home too. Ooh, let's do this. Putting out the coupe in the lot, 12 for a swat, all the bells out the box, hit the lick.